Ho, 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 hello, and Merry Christmas, SGT Discovery Kids. Welcome back to GNN, where every week we keep you informed on what God is teaching us in His Word. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Mr. Iden.
And I'm Miss Natalie, and we are so excited to see you join us again this week. But no, it is not the holidays.
But we're learning about Christmas.
Yes, but we can learn about Christmas anytime, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. You see, with all of our recent coverage on the family of Jesus, we have to discuss the birth of Jesus.
That is very true. Many of you know that we celebrate the birth of Jesus during Christmas time, but no good coverage on the start of the New Testament would be complete without it. So let's recap. We know that God chose a young woman named Mary to be part of the most miraculous story God would ever tell. Mary became pregnant after God promised her that she would give birth to the Son of God. In our recent updates, we reminded you, our listeners, that Mary was set to marry Joseph, a descendant of King David.
That's right. And at the time of Mary's pregnancy, all the families of Israel had to return to their homes for a Roman census. So, as a descendant of King David, Joseph returned to Bethlehem, the city of David. After arriving in Bethlehem, Joseph and Mary could not find any room to have the baby, and Mary had to give birth in a manger outside. The King of Heaven was born in a humble stable for animals.
But heaven knew that he was born, and a host of angels told shepherds in a nearby field of the birth of the baby boy. The shepherds rushed back to see if it was true, and there baby Jesus was, lying in the manger. The whole Bible pointed to this very moment when God would send the Messiah of Israel to save the people from their sins.
So with that, the stage was set to begin the greatest story ever told. God had promised long ago that a Messiah would save his people. That Savior would have to be a descendant of King David, and that Messiah would have a way prepared ahead of him in the wilderness. With our coverage last week of the birth of John the Baptist and now the birth of the Son of God, we know things are about to get even more exciting. We're going to learn more about this now in the verse of the week with Mr. Iden.
Thank you, Miss Natalie. This week's verse reminds us how much God desired to be with us and save us from our sin. It's found in Matthew chapter 1, verses 22 and 23. Here's what it says. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. Emmanuel means God with us, and we call Jesus Emmanuel because in him, God came to be with us and bring us all back to him. That's it for this verse of the week. Now, on to Miss Natalie with the animal of the week.
Thank you, Mr. Iden. This week's animal has been used by people for centuries to help plow fields and pull carts. Do you know what it is? That's right, it's the ox. The ox is an animal that has been domesticated for a long time, over 6,000 years. Oxen have helped farmers do chores and carry goods all throughout human history. Oxen are a strong and powerful animal and many times work in teams to get jobs done. Mangers and stables were where animals like the ox would have slept during the night. And this was the place that baby Jesus, the King of all creation, was born. The manger with shepherds around them looking at a little baby has been a symbol to Christians for 2,000 years, just to show us how humble our mighty King is and how far he's willing to come to meet us and save us. That's all for this week's animal segment, and now back to our newsroom.
Well, that wraps up things for us here on the Gospel News Network. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again right here next week. God bless you, and remember, be blessed
And be a blessing.